very, very special guest here for us today. He is the American Nightmare, the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. I can't deliver like Samantha Urban, but I appreciate
Samantha's pretty good, yeah.
yeah,
Mike
a little
Rome,
bit.
too.
He's here for Friday Night Smackdown at the KFC Yum Center coming up later on tonight. So, Cody, what do you want to talk about?
What should we talk about?
We've got a lot to talk about.
It's very early in the morning. Right? No, what should we talk about? Smackdown, for sure.
We should talk about Smackdown, but before we get into that, I want to talk about a little bit about your journey, because you just completed a very big part of it. You finished the story at WrestleMania, pinning Roman Reigns for that championship right there. But before there was that, before there was the nightmare, before there was the dashing, the undashing, the mustaching, that one that we won't talk about, I promise.
Sure.
There was a young kid by the name of Cody Rhodes still going on in the ring that got his start here in OVW. What kind of memories come back to you when you come back to Louisville?
It's funny that Cody Rhodes is what we decided for me to go by in OVW, with the efforts of like, oh, maybe they won't make the parallel. And that was just, it was an instant. And then only like 3 months later, the Six Flags Super Summer Sizzler Series tour that OVW put on, my dad came and tagged with me. But this was, I tell everybody, I lived in Hillview, Kentucky. Ohio Valley Wrestling, 4400 Shepherdsville Road, was as close to a college experience as I would get, because I jumped right into sports entertainment and pro wrestling, and to be around CM Punk, who was kind of the locker room leader at the time when I got there. Cena had left, Batista had come from there. This was a really special place to be. Danny Davis and Al Snow trained me more than anybody else, and exceptional at it.
You mentioned some of the names that have come through OVW and made their way through the WWE pipeline. To be kind of a part of that, what does that mean to you to be with some of those names as well as some of the early developmental guys that obviously made a huge name for themselves later on?
Well, I think you've got to want that, because the last thing you want to be is, okay, we're John Cena, Batista, CM Punk. You don't want it to get less every time, and really the best thing that can happen is your consistency and your tenure in the industry if you keep kind of grasping. And in my case, I did so many things to explain to people, no, I think I can be the lead dog. I think I can be the main thing. And then you had to show people and then go out there and do it. So just to be part of that company, it makes you want to, the men we're talking about, makes me want to honor that company and kind of keep climbing the ladder. And WWE has had this unprecedented success in the last 2.5, 3 years. To be part of that and be right now kind of holding the North Star for WWE, that is this championship, dream come true.
I can't even imagine. When you look back at your short time here in Louisville, it was only about a year. What do you think you were able to most take away from a city like this that does have the wrestling culture that it does? And what did maybe Louisville teach you in your short time here?
It's funny that you know probably better than I do that it was a year. To me, it felt like it was 10 years. It felt like I was here for forever in a positive sense. Gosh, I gained a lot of respect for an industry that I thought I already had a lot of respect for. I loved pro wrestling. I loved sports entertainment growing up. But it's one thing when you watch your dad do it and it's in your bones and you want to be like him, and it's another thing when you see somebody else do it at the highest level. And when I came to OVW and Miz was there and Punk was there, and just to see that and to see how they could engage with all these fans, St. Therese Gym, Bedford, Kentucky, like all these fun little spots that we would go to, E-Town, all these like really unique places that I have this memory of. Just this morning on the ride here, so much nostalgia, but really I tell people it was a college experience, it was a Louisville experience, got in tons of trouble, and it was the perfect place to get it all out of my system. But gosh, like just thinking about it now brings me back. Great memories.
I won't make you tell on yourself with any of the trouble that
Not
you
like
got
really
into.
bad.
I know.
Like really bad,
But one of the matches that you just mentioned there, because I was looking at some of the OVW stuff that you did, and that I couldn't find that match anywhere. I looked near and far for it, but you and your dad having a tag team match, 2006 Summer Sizzler Series. Now everyone knows obviously the reverence you have for your dad that the wrestling industry has for the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. That's got to be an incredible memory, because I can't recall another time where you had a tag match with him.
We've that we really only ever had the one tag match, and then we did one 6-man with my brother and him and I as well. But that was a huge experience, not just from the perspective of, oh, I'm his son and I get to, be the Robin to his Batman in this moment. In that opportunity, we had filled that whole little Batman stunt arena where these shows were at, and I remember Greg Gagne and Mr. Heyman, Paul Heyman, they were behind the scenes at OVW kind of ushering it in to get guys ready for WWE. So a lot of responsibility was like, oh, hey, we're going to bring in Dusty Rhodes. He's awesome, but hopefully his son's okay. And that was one of the first times I really felt like, this rub that I'm getting, I really want to honor it, and I can do good, and I'm going to show them. And it was a huge gateway for me with WWE.
You're coming up on 18 years in the industry. I think you're just about 2 weeks shy from that milestone.
Nice.
What do you think that this Cody Rhodes right here would tell that Cody Rhodes all those years ago?
If I could go back, 18 years, I really honestly would tell him nothing. And the reason I tell him nothing is because, like I said, I got in a little trouble, whatever it was, you got to go through all this. And I was really, the greatest teacher for me was failure. And I know that's not the most triumphant, winning thing to say, but it took so many times getting up to the plate and striking out. The very first promo I ever did in OVW was so bad, the next day we watched it back, laughing at it as a class over and over again. You have to step up to the plate and strike out a lot to realize exactly where the ball is going and how you want to hit it. And I wouldn't tell him anything. That way he didn't change a thing.
Well, this Cody Rhodes definitely has something to address coming up later on Friday Night SmackDown. Again, tickets still available for about $20 at the KFC Yum Center box office. Last Friday Night SmackDown, rumors circulating all night that AJ Styles might be retiring.
I don't even know if it was a rumor. I thought it was a for sure thing. I was told he's for sure retiring.
Well, you came out.
He's going to quit.
Yeah, you came out proper champion, wanted to send him off on his way after having an excellent match over at Backlash. Hold his ham up. What's he do to return the favor? Sucker punches you.
Pro
Styles
wrestling,
clash. Yeah.
Right? That's what happened to me.
That's what happened.
The thing I love the most. I fell for it. AJ Styles is such a unique situation where I wish AJ and I had a better, relationship. You hear the story all the time about how Michael Jordan didn't want to play Dr. J, not because he was his hero, because he didn't want to embarrass him. And that's really what I wanted to say to AJ before we had our first match at Backlash. This was a guy I looked up to, coming from Georgia, and his whole run, especially what he did overseas with New Japan and everything that made AJ Styles. I wanted him to know, that's great and that's all good and well, but I'm the guy now. And I thought I showed him that at Backlash, but apparently I didn't show him to the best of my ability. So looking forward to tonight, getting an answer at least, getting a reason, getting his why as to why something like that would happen. And also, as shilly as this might sound, I just found out as we were walking into this studio here, we have cool Louisville Nightmare shirts, specific Louisville American Nightmare shirts.
And where can you get those?
At the Yum Center.
There we go.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
The Yum Center.
The KFC Yum Center.
Such a strange, it's KFC Yum Center.
You remember it, though?
Do you remember Freedom Hall?
Of course we do.
Okay, so Freedom Hall was the loudest crowd I ever heard in my entire life. Even to this day, WrestleMania 40, which is just 80,000 people or whatnot, Freedom Hall, the building was shaking at one point when I was in a match, and John Cena made a run in it, and I never forgot it. That is the energy as a wrestler and sports entertainer or whatever the heck we are. That's the energy you want to get, and man, it was here.
When was that match? When was that?
I don't remember, man. I want to say 2008 or 9. I was just plucky,
okay, so still early,
plucky
yeah.
young underdog, and John came out, Freedom Hall, and the building was legit shaking. And the last time we were in the Yum Center I was in is a really wonderful crowd as well. So looking forward to it.
I mean, I think everybody's looking forward to Friday Night SmackDown coming up later on tonight. The American Cody Rhodes, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.